Gentlemen in the ring, Marcellus Too Sharp Johnson is the current champion. Armando Diaz would like to be the champ, and Jimmy Lennon Jr., famed ring announcer, is standing by to introduce the participants to you. Here's Jimmy.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening to you, and welcome to the home of championship boxing, the Great Western Forum in Inglewood, California. Once again, we have a big night of action coming away, and it's all brought to you by Forum Boxing Incorporated, along with Budweiser, the undisputed king of beers. Ladies and gentlemen, we start our evening with one of our featured bouts as we present the Pentacontinental Junior World Flyweight Championship. This bout is sanctioned by the California State Athletic Commission in conjunction with the Pentacontinental Boxing Union President Thomas Hogan. The officials as appointed: doctors at ringside, Dr. Barry Schwartz, Dr. Robert and Dr. Adam Carnes. Timekeepers at the bell, also keeping count of the knockdowns. We have John Lichty and Debbie Garcia. Introducing the judges for this bout, we have Chuck Hassett, Vince Delgado, and Lou Filippo. Introducing the referee in charge, he'll be giving instructions after the introductions, Raul Cais. All right, bands, here we go with the Pentacontinental Junior World Flyweight Championship, scheduled 12 rounds of boxing. Introducing to you first the challenger on my right, fighting out of the blue corner. He enters the ring wearing white trunks with blue trim and hailing from Piedras Negras, Coahuila, Mexico. He weighed in at 111 3/4 pounds with a record of 22 wins, 14 losses, with 8 wins coming by way of knockout. Demos la bienvenida a Armando Suzuki Diaz. And his opponent across the ring is the defending champion on my left, fighting out of the red corner. He enters the ring wearing multicolored trunks, hailing from our nation's capital, Washington, D.C. He weighed in at a ready 112 pounds with an outstanding record of 14 wins, only 1 defeat, with 10 wins coming by way of knockout. Welcome the defending Pentacontinental Junior World Flyweight Champion, Mark Too Sharp Johnson. Once again, here's your referee in charge, Raul Cais.
Okay, Mark, I'll give you instructions downstairs. Les di las instrucciones ahí abajo. Hazme caso a las instrucciones que te dije en el ring. Pay attention to my commands at all times. Shake hands. Dale la mano y buena suerte a los dos.
All right, the tail of the tape. Johnson, the champion, is 2 inches taller, and he's a 1/4 of a pound heavier, 3 years younger, and he has 1 inch in the reach department over Diaz. We showed you the rules governing boxing here in the state of California, and as we have this Pentacontinental Flyweight Championship on the line here in this opening bout tonight, I'll remind you a couple of rules changes. 3 knockdown rule is in effect, and the standing 8 count is in effect for the Pentacontinental. Then, of course, it means the 5 continents as they come to the center of the ring. Diaz is the southpaw in the white trunks trimmed in blue, and the champion, Mark Too Sharp Johnson, in the multicolored trunks, and he too is a southpaw. Well, you seldom see 2 southpaws in a month, and here we've got 2 of them in the ring tonight going at each other. Johnson's on quite a streak. He's won 6 in a row and 14 of his last 15. And his record is impressive. 14-1, 10 knockouts. So he's got some punch to him, some sock. And he's a prohibitive favorite here over Diaz. We don't know too much about him, Ruben. He's not listed among the top contenders for this Pentacontinental title. But he's obviously a worthy contender. Here he is going for the crown.
Well, you know, the IBF champion, lightweight champion, Freddie Pendleton, he had a 14-14 record at one time. And here he is, the IBF lightweight champion.
Well, patience and perseverance, there's nothing wrong with those 2 assets.
And a great manager.
Whether you're a fighter, that's right, or not. But I tell you, if you're 14-14, you have really got to have great faith if you want to continue in this very tough world of boxing. boxing. And here he is. You're absolutely right. Freddie Pendleton is the IBF lightweight champ. In fact, we saw him recently in Las Vegas against Jorge Paez. Good fight. That's Johnson, taller of the two men. Both are southpaws. Diaz in the white, trimmed in blue. Johnson working a right hand to the body. This is round one. Raul Caiz is the third man in the ring. Around the ring, we've got Lou Moret, Chuck Hassett, Lou Filippo as the judges. Johnson does a little showboating, spins his man around, pops him a couple of times, steps away, got hit with the right hand and landed a right of his own.
You know, he got hit on the chin with that right hook from Armando Diaz, and then came right back up with the left uppercut. Pretty sharp punching.
Boy, Johnson banging away at the body with that right hand, Ruben.
You know,
pretty solid shots.
It's funny because in Mexico, they teach the fighters in Mexico to work to the body. And it's really gratifying to see that the other fighters around the world are starting to work really, really hard to the body.
Diaz didn't get that 22-14 record just through the mail. He was pretty adept there at holding and hitting, and takes a combination 1-2, and down he goes from the left hand. He bounces right back up, telling Caiz that he is in good shape. Just seconds remain here in round number one. There's the bell. And we'll go back to the corner with Armando Diaz, who is 24, and we'll listen in.
Tranquilo, tranquilo. Necesitamos no estar tan parados, mano. ¿Oíste? Estamos parados. Necesitas moverte un poquito más, ¿oíste? Sin agua. Sin agua. Un poquito más. Hay que tirar el golpe para ganar aquí, tío. Okay.
Well, they weren't doing much talking over there. Watch as a combination right, and then there's the right, and there's the left. Oh. And, of course, for the southpaw, that left hand is a telling blow. Watch it again now. First, the lead right hand, right there, left. Nice, solid shots thrown by Johnson. His nickname, Too Sharp. And he was right there for Armando Diaz, who went down, but doesn't seem any the worse for wear. Bounced right back up as seconds remained in round number one.
Well, that's what you call walking right into a shot, Tommy. He just hit his momentum, pushed him to the right, and he walked right into the left hand. He just got nailed with another left hand.
Johnson in the multicolored trunks. Pretty good counter punching, stepped away and whacked a couple of solid right hands. Very quick-handed puncher, this kid Johnson. Diaz is a willing competitor here, but one assumes, rightfully or not, that Johnson may just have hands that are too quick and too much snap in them. He's won 14 fights, and 10 of them have been by knockouts.
Well, you know, they tell you, and it's proven fact, the punch that knocks you out is the one you don't see. So it helps to be awfully quick like Johnson. He's very quick at hands and at feet. Good boxer.
He has one loss, and that came in his second pro fight, Ruben. He's won 6 in a row and 14 of 15. And boy, his confidence level went way up, obviously, after that right-left combination put Diaz down near the close of round one. He's all over Diaz, banging him at will, sticking out that right-handed jab and then switching to an uppercut with it.
You know, and with having just 15 fights, this Johnson looks very, very poised. He's got a lot of experience, Tommy.
Let me tell you, we're sitting down below the apron of the ring here, and he weighs 112 pounds. He looks a lot bigger than that. He's well muscled, all put together, crushing right hand. That hook hit Diaz flush on the side of the face, but the little guy from Mexico never did much more than blink. But he is catching some leather here. We're in round 2, scheduled for 12.
Nice in the showboat a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, you know, he's got all the confidence, as you said, and I guess he's got that right. He's had Diaz on the canvas once already and pulverized him here in the second round, so I guess he has that right to showboat a bit. As long as he doesn't get careless.
We're going back to something we talked about a couple of weeks ago, Ruben. It seems that the measuring stick now for guys in and around this weight classification is, did they know Michael Carbajal? Would they recognize him on the street? Were they ever in the ring? Were they ever near a building where a ring was that Carbajal was in? Well, Diaz was a sparring mate of his as he was getting ready for that fight in Las Vegas against Chiquita Gonzalez. Coming to the end of round number 2. For round 3, we'll take a quick look back at a smashing right hand thrown by Johnson that caught Diaz flush on the side of the face back in round number 2. And now the action returns live here from the Great Western Forum. I'm Tom Kelly. With me is Ruben Castillo. Johnson has got all the moves. Quick-handed. He's got that right hand out with the jab, following it with a solid left. He'll go from that hook with the right hand, turn it into an uppercut. Very busy and moving, moving, moving. And of course, it was a nice combination that put Diaz down in round number 1. Scheduled for 12 rounds, Johnson, whose sobriquet is Too Sharp, Marcellus Mark Too Sharp Johnson, is the current Pentacontinental Flyweight champion. He's in at 112 pounds. Good right hand again, and Diaz is, I'll tell you one thing for sure, Ruben Castillo, Diaz has got a set of whiskers on him. He's got a pretty good chin.
That's your, you know, Tommy, when I was in this square circle, they always taught me, they tell you, whatever combinations your opponent lands with, you try it, because if it can hit you, I'm sure it can hit him.
Yep.
Well, this Diaz kid's been getting hit with that right hook most of the evening. I'm thinking if somebody in his corner could tell him to throw his a couple of times, something could happen.
Got 2 southpaws in the ring. I mentioned a moment or 2 ago, you don't see 2 in a month. All of a sudden, you get 2 in the ring tonight. He threw the right hand there and scored with it.
Yeah. Oh.
Got nailed with a left as he stood back, maybe to admire his work, and Johnson bangs him again with a nice combination. Johnson's got an advantage of an inch in the reach department. Just an inch, maybe inch and a half taller, though he looks a lot bigger than Diaz, who is 5'3" and weighs 111 3/4.
And if you're Diaz, you've got to think that this guy's 6'9".
He does. Really, Johnson looks so much bigger. And just our angle of the sight from here, plus the fact that he's pretty well defined muscle-wise. He's got a nice definition.
You know, Tommy, you're talking about Diaz working with Michael Carbajal. When you work with a champion of this magnitude like Carbajal, I mean, this guy's a great fighter. And you got to have your confidence. He's got to have confidence, you know, but this Johnson's not giving him the chance to expose him.
No.
He's taking the fight right to him.
Just seconds remain here in round number 3. They're scheduled for a good right hand by Johnson. Kind of stood Diaz up straight. As the round comes to a close, we follow Johnson back to his corner. Diaz to his. Johnson looks like he's all business in defense of his Pentacontinental Flyweight title.
You have to bend down to see punches, Mark. I told you gonna miss it all. Come on. Come on, breathe right. Do it again. Take another sip of water. Mark. Drop just a little bit.
Ruben's scorecard is brought to you tonight by Super Lotto, the game that's made millionaires out of 595 Californians. Play Super Lotto today. It's time. Remember now, getting knocked down generally means you've got a 10-8 round. The winner gets 10, the loser any number underneath that. Hence, Ruben's card after 3 rounds would have Johnson on top 30 points to 26. He's given him every round, and of course, round number 1 was a 10-8 round. So up they come. Round number 4, scheduled for 12. Diaz is in the white, trimmed in blue. And Johnson, the taller of the 2 southpaws, the Pentacontinental Flyweight champion.
Super Lotto. You play that, Tom?
I play everything. Just trying, you know. Hope The Irish are superstitious, and we have high hopes, great expectations.
Well, I'm smoked Irish, and so that makes me eligible to play the Super Lotto. If this Diaz can throw a bomb, baby, and knock Johnson out, that would be hitting the lotto.
Johnson slipped. It was a slip.
That's like getting 3 numbers.
That's close. Yeah.
Close.
Yeah. That's like getting 3 and the guy telling you the other 2 were double-digit numbers.
There you go.
Diaz applying some pressure. Johnson the sharper of the 2.
Now Diaz could make a big mistake here, think that he actually knocked Johnson down and want to choose to exchange punches with him, Tom. That could be a big mistake for Diaz.
I don't know how effective Diaz would be if he got inside. Johnson hasn't let him do much of that. He banged away him pretty good, buried a right hand right where his belt says Diaz.
I think he knocked the Z off mark a little bit, Tom. That was a heck of a right hand.
Right at the belt line. 2 men break. Raul Caiz is the 3rd man in the ring, though he's not had that much work to do. This is round 4, scheduled for 12. Well, that Johnson's quick. But he was there, then he was gone, just like that.
You know, I'd like to see Diaz after this fight go over to Johnson and say, I want you to fight my boss now, Mr. Carbajal.
Boy, I tell you, Johnson would love that fight. Think of the money he'd get just for the loser's share. Huh?
I tell you what, though, after watching Michael a couple of times, I don't know if it's worth it to me.
Oh, yeah. A big payday.
Good fight. Look at Diaz come back.
Diaz keeps... Nice combinations by Johnson, who's right there and bangs Diaz again. Crowd roaring as round 5 is coming to a close. Out they come for round 5. I was just a round ahead of myself. That is Diaz in the blue, trimmed, the white trimmed in blue, and Johnson in the multicolored trunks. Johnson had Diaz down in the first round. Diaz is not a bit discouraged, though. He has kept coming at Johnson, the Pentacontinental Flyweight champion. But Johnson has been the sharper puncher, the more effective of the 2 men. I tell you, you can't fault Diaz for lack of courage. And the crowd is very much in his corner, Ruben. They seem to gravitate toward the underdog, don't they? And
yes.
There's a hue and a roar set up for Diaz as round 4 came to a close. Johnson, all business, steps in. Both men southpaws. Now all of a sudden Diaz has swung back and is fighting the orthodox style. Now he's half southpaw. Johnson's banging away. Diaz was holding on to his right arm, so Johnson just bangs away with that left. Throws a big overhand left. Another one, then a right.
I think those caught the glove, but the first one sure got his attention.
Left hand had to hurt Diaz. Caught him flush. There's another one, right. Diaz keeps swinging. Johnson keeps banging away at him. Crowd loves it. Boy, I tell you, Diaz has caught enough shots.
Here's a situation that we've got Oral Hershiser on the mound and Piazza catching.
Yeah, that's right. Boy, Diaz, what a solid...
But he can take a heck of a shot.
What a chin he's got.
That first knockdown, I think in the first round, must have caught him just walking right into the shot because he's taking some great punches here.
Had to.
You know, it'd be interesting to see if Too Sharp runs out of gas. It could be a whole different game here.
But Too Sharp has hit Diaz with everything but a ring post. He's got to be wondering what's keeping Diaz up.
And Diaz is wondering if Raul Kais is hitting him too, because he's getting hit so many shots.
Boy, Johnson is just teeing off on him. Bangs away with the right hand. I mean, 3, 4, 5 in a row. Left hand lead. Catches Diaz. Lands a right of his own. Round 5 coming to a close. There they are. With a little extra after the bell. What a slugfest we've got going here tonight.
Tommy, you know, we're just talking about running out of gas. I'm starting to see Johnson take some wide punches. He's throwing some wide shots. That only tells me one thing. That petrol's going down to that EMAR.
Well, Diaz looks none the worse for wear as we glance back at round 5. That right hand caught Johnson on the throat and the side of the neck. Johnson with a left and a right. He's got a glove stuck in the face of Diaz. That right hand comes back with a left. Diaz throwing punches but missing with most of them as Johnson hit him everywhere.
With the whip overhand right.
The belt on up.
You got him offset. Don't let him get inside Nick Tank.
Diaz is one tough cookie. Puts the mouthpiece in. Out they come for round 6. It is scheduled for 12. Johnson is the current Pentacontinental flyweight champion and defending his title here tonight. Diaz is not, according to the latest rankings set out by the Pentacontinental Boxing Authority, ranked among the top 20. He's 22-14 as among his 22 wins, 8 knockouts. Johnson's 14-1. He's won 14 out of his last 15.
You know, if you're the corner of Diaz, you know, they're your eyes, Tom. They're supposed to see everything that you don't. Well, in the last round, I saw toward the end that Johnson's getting a little fatigued. I'd have sent him out right to Johnson, see what he's got left in him, in that gas tank. Just put a lot of pressure, make him throw a lot of shots, make him miss. See, he just took a right hook to the chin and didn't do anything to Diaz.
It didn't seem to faze him at all. There's another right thrown by Johnson. Johnson jumps back at Diaz. Diaz misses with about 3. Johnson bangs that right hand to the body. Both men back at the southpaw stance. Johnson has been there ever since the fight started. Caught Diaz coming in, just brought that right hand up and smacked him on the point of the chin.
I tell you what, this Great Western Forum would go up in flames if Diaz come back and knocked out Johnson. Huh?
Unbelievable. Johnson has hit him with some shots now. There's another clubbing right hand, and there's a mouse, pretty good sized one, under the right eye of Diaz, which may or may not affect the outcome of this one. Great Western Forum on the 28th of this month.
Oh, did you see that?
Yep.
He's going to get warned for that, the back of his hand. You see, now, Johnson doesn't have to do that. He's taking total command of this fight.
On the 28th, they'll be celebrating 11 years of championship boxing here. We're going to have a big gala card for you that night. It'll be a Saturday. We plan a big evening of boxing. Chiquita Gonzalez will be on the card. Marco Antonio Barrera will defend his title. The real Paul Banky. Going to be a great night of boxing. Gabriel Ruelas, sensational. 28th, you want to mark it down, a Saturday night. And we salute Dr. Jerry Buss, John Jackson, and all the people with Forum Boxing. 11 years of championship goes here at the Great Western Forum. They have truly, in every sense of the word, kept boxing a viable, ongoing sport here in Los Angeles and Southern California. Seconds remaining in round 6. Johnson in, out, punching his way all the time, and we'll be back. You come out for round 7, a glance back at round 6. Johnson with the back of his hand, for which the referee, Raul Kais, warned him. Enough of that, he said. Outside of the opening round, when Johnson put Diaz down. There have been no knockdowns since then. This is scheduled for 12, and we're in round 7.
Diaz is starting to land some shots, Tommy.
The punches that Johnson has thrown and landed, you'd think would have backed up anybody. This Diaz is as tough to discourage as anybody. He has caught some monumental shots. There's a left and a right, as if to emphasize the point. Now he's back to the southpaw stance, catches one going away. But I tell you, Ruben, you had a magnificent career in the ring, and you know full well there comes a time, no matter who you are, that if you're involved in a 12-rounder, you've got to find some place to put the tank back on full, and you got to find a round or two to kind of coast through, try to get your wind back, among other things.
Absolutely, especially a 12-rounder, Tommy. We used to always pick like the 7th or the 8th round. You know, just to coast the 7th round, try to get your second win. Then you can go on all night.
These guys have been awfully busy. But this, I brought that up because it is the slowest and the quietest of the rounds heretofore. Round number 7. Good right hand chopped in there by Johnson. I tell you, Diaz is awfully tough to discourage. That's round 7 in the books, scheduled for 12. We'll follow Johnson back to his corner and listen in a little bit and see if we can eavesdrop on what they're talking about over there.
Man, Kim. How you feel? Am I having it? All right, take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. Breathe good. All right, you got 4 to do, Joe. This 8th round coming up, okay? Take your time.
Think positive. Think positive.
Come on.
You can beat that pain. You can beat that pain.
I'm gonna beat nothing yet.
All right.
Hey, you at?
Every once in a while, let a few combinations go down low.
There's James Toney, the WBC super middleweight champion. Actually, he's the IBF middleweight champion as well.
I got him up there.
Sitting over there and looking on.
Another fight.
Tony's one tough customer. Forget about that earring. He is very, very tough.
Don't let that fool you.
No, indeed.
Handle him.
You know, not to belabor the point, we were talking about fighting your way. Runners know about it. At the long-distance runner who just fights his way through that one big barrier of pain and then goes on. And Johnson, I think, was indicating, you know, this has been a very tough fight for me. And the guy said, you only got 4 to go. Just reach back and fight your way through that pain.
Yeah, he said there was a pain. I don't know if it was in the side or what, but those are signs to me when you're complaining in the corner of fatigue, Tom. And I don't know if this kid's fatigued, but like I said, if I was Diaz's corner, I'd send him right out to him.
I don't know how much Diaz has got left, really, and how much he can hurt Johnson. Johnson has hit him some solid shots, put him down, backs him up. Johnson still looks stoic, all business, and in charge. That is not to minimize the talents of Diaz. His head straightened up with a stiff jab on the point of the chin. I don't know if he's got to put Johnson away if he should be in pain or whatever. And I tell you, quite frankly, Johnson's the better boxer, and I think Johnson's ahead by a wide margin. margin, Ruben Castillo, and if he is got a problem, just jab and go. All from here on out, he's got 4 rounds.
Of course, he has 5 rounds left. I think he's well ahead on the cards. I've got him pitching a shutout.
Yeah, I do too. Ours is not official, of course. Highly informative, I might throw in, but not necessarily official.
You know, I have a friend of mine, Blinky Rodriguez, that used to train me from the Jet Center. And that guy, he said it so well. You could be driving a Corvette, a Lincoln, or anything, Rolls Royce. But if you don't have any gas in that tank, you're going to have to pull it over.
That's right. Oh, that's true. The most expensive car is no better than the worst old clunker if the tank is empty.
That's true.
And nothing rides very well if a tire's flat.
Heck, especially if they fall out, huh?
That's right.
They fall off, huh?
There's blood on the white trimmed and blue trunks of Diaz, and I don't know where it's come from. I don't think it belongs to Johnson.
No, I think it's coming from the nose of Diaz. That's another thing you don't want to ever wear. Huh, Tommy? You never did like that.
I don't like it. They're nice, look great. The pre-fight picture, everything's wonderful. But I tell you, you can be in a tough brawl, and if there's any claret flowing out there, the white trunk catches all of it. And every judge that looks over at you, you can be winning, going away, and suddenly you look like somebody has thrown you right in a bloodbath.
It doesn't look good, does it?
Johnson returns to form and boxing very effectively here as round 8 comes to a close. Boxing fans, the Ringsiders Club offers you select seating, complimentary parking, and exclusive Forum Club membership. Join the Ringsiders Club, see the action up close, become a part of the finest boxing program in America. Call now. Operators are standing by. The number's 310-673-1773. We'll go over with the champion. This is Marcellus Mark Too Sharp
Overhand look very
Johnson.
beautiful. Take your time. You run them real good.
Just don't give me back, okay?
Okay. Size almost over, Joe. We got a nice round coming up. Think positive. Come on, this is your belt. Elementary. Elementary, my dear friend. Okay?
I'm beating with his hand.
Calm, cool, and collected over there. Ruben Castillo's scorecard looks like this through 8 rounds. Johnson, as he said, pitching a shutout, 80-71, 10 points to the winner of a round, and a lesser number for the man who did not win it. A knockdown is generally a 10-8 round. We think that's what happened in round number 1. Johnson, of course, with a solid right-left combination, floored Diaz, who was down for 8, right at the bell, got back up, and survived the round. But we think he's pitching a shutout. He being Johnson. He's nailed Diaz with everything, backed him up. He's been the better boxer, been much sharper with his punches, much more effective with them. Oh, right above us. I mean, these guys are 112, 114 pounds. But I tell you, don't get in between them. Oh, solid clubbing shots by Johnson. Diaz found that resting up against the ring ropes, no place to be.
Those punches hurt my feelings.
Oh, boy. Johnson has him against the ropes again. Diaz unable to counter with anything substantial in the way of keeping Johnson off. He's clubbing away at him now. Body back to the jaw. Diaz throwing punches, I think, mostly by instinct now, Ruben.
I think you're right.
He hasn't landed with anything of any substance, and he's caught a lot.
Well, I think he's got to be thinking, when is Johnson going to stop throwing these?
Yeah.
When do we unplug this right, you know?
More combinations thrown by Johnson. Diaz. Punches have very little zip and zing to them. Johnson playing with him on the ropes. Grinning. He had Diaz befuddled and unable to land a solid shot. You know what I'm going to do right now? Is bring a very pleasant moment to our viewers, and especially those here in Los Angeles, by wishing Roberta, Albert Davila's beautiful bride, a happy 18th wedding anniversary.
Oh, God bless her. That is nice.
Albert came over before the festivities started tonight. He said, Tom, would you wish my treasure a happy 18th?
That's nice. I mean, to be married to any fighter.
That's right.
For 18. No, Albert's a great kid. He's a great guy. Roberto, congratulations.
Yep, 18 years, and we hope there's many, many more.
They've got a beautiful set of twins.
Yeah, he says they're 3 years old.
Yeah. They're three. In fact, they're only a few months, maybe a few weeks apart from mine.
Yeah. Round number 9 comes to a close. Let's follow Diaz back to his corner. This has been a tough night for the young man from Mexico.
Tíralo ya, juegas y tíralo.
Jala aire, jala aire.
Ahora sí, agarra aire.
Jala aire, jala aire. Mano, necesitamos más golpes, Nico, porque ahorita cuando él
Al
entra.
aire, profundo al aire.
Jala aire, jala aire, jala aire, jala aire, jala aire, jala aire. Vamos.
They're trying to tell him. They're telling him to grab some air.
Grab some air, huh?
Breathe deep. Rejuvenate, baby.
If you watch this replay of the action, Johnson literally is teeing off on Diaz. Right hand a moment ago, then that left you saw there. Diaz really fought a tough fight here tonight. We've got another Johnson coming up in just a bit. That'll be Stefan Johnson against the undefeated Wilfredo Rivera. And they'll be going for Budweiser's welterweight tournament title. The winner to dash off with 50,000 big ones. That'll be coming up. That's our big main event. This, the Pentacontinental Flyweight title, and Johnson is the man with the champion's belt. And so far, he's done nothing in the 9 rounds we've been watching to disprove the idea that he shouldn't have that belt. He's been sharp and tough. He's boxed beautifully, knocked Diaz down, and he's been in complete control. I tell you, Diaz is, I'm sure, Ruben Castillo, accustomed to tough outings in the ring. I mean, all you have to do is be a sparring partner to Carbajal, and you know what a tough afternoon.
You're definitely in with the big boys.
Johnson just pops him. Left hand flush.
I mean, I was in the ring with Michael Carbajal, a little exhibition, and he really made me mad. He hit me in the stomach with a shot. Tommy sounded like an inner tube full of water.
But I tell you, Diaz is some tough little guy, because Johnson has just punched him from one side of this forum ring to the other. For 9 rounds, we're in round number 10, scheduled for 12. My ringside companion, you know, is, I think, the only man that was ever in with 3 of the greatest champions that boxing's ever had. Alexis Arguello.
Oh, that scares me. Makes me nervous. Yes.
Julio Cesar Chavez.
We already know, but what I think.
Are you ready for one more?
Oh, no.
Salvador Sanchez.
That's right.
3 of the great champions this game has ever had, and Ruben Castillo fought them all and fought them well. Yep. I don't think anybody in boxing can say that.
I don't think anybody's that crazy signing those 3 contracts.
You know, one would think, looking at Johnson, that he just would be getting tired of punching Diaz. But he's bouncing, moving around. Some of the crowd trying to get Diaz fired up, shouting, Mexico, Mexico, or Mexico.
Mexico, yeah. We'll work on your accent a little
Well,
bit.
it depends on whether they came over from Tijuana or Calexico or what, huh? Some of those guys from down in Downey are shouting Mexico, you know.
That's true. That's true.
Round coming to a close.
The BBC, Turner Broadcasting, and Time Life Video dare you to take a walk on the wild side with...
They come for round 11. Johnson, the Pentacontinental Flyweight champion. The multicolored trunks. And Armando Diaz. the wannabe in the white trimmed and blue. Interesting, Raul Caiz, the referee, said to Diaz at the end of round 10, "You want to go some more?" And Diaz looked at him as if he was totally surprised. "Are you kidding me? Of course I'm going to go."
I'm just beginning to have fun.
That's right.
Crazy or
You haven't been laughing? We're giggling in my side.
Oh, man, where have you been? Yeah. We're just beginning this thing.
This is some tough guy. That was interesting. The little byplay that went on in Johnson's corner, his people were up telling him that he's won 10 rounds. I don't think there's an argument there. They said, "Now you've got this thing won, my man. Just stick that right hand out, jab him and move, slide a little bit, throw him some lateral movements." But I tell you, Johnson, he likes to stand right there and bang away at you. There's 2 right hand punches. Caiz says, might have been a little low. Bring him up. Tried to catch Diaz with that left-handed uppercut coming in. Diaz had that one blocked, but Johnson nails him with a couple. Round 11. Diaz was knocked down. A good right-left combination by Johnson in the closing seconds of round number 1 made it a 10-8 round, and Johnson really, I don't think, has looked back since. He's just been out on top and winging ever since. Sharp in his punches, quick in his movements, boxing well. Another Johnson will be in action in just a bit. Our main event tonight will find Stefan Johnson. He'll be in against the undefeated Wilfredo Rivera. The winner there will go away with Budweiser's welterweight tournament championship and $50,000 in a new 1993 Ford Escort.
So they'll drive away with $50,000.
That's it, pal. The loser gets 10, which isn't a bad night's work. But $50,000 is really a very nice inducement.
Well, you know, when you have to think again the price of the car, that's more than 50 big ones, Tommy.
Yep.
That's a heck of a payday.
Johnson bouncing around on the ropes, almost having some fun. Not necessarily showing up Diaz, but showing the fans that he's got some pretty good boxing moves and skills. And look at that left-handed jab.
You know, this kid is in great shape, Johnson.
Boy, he really is. He really is.
Well, yeah, just stop throwing punches.
No.
To rattle off like 7, 8, 9 jabs in a row.
Yeah. Just seconds remaining. Round 11 goes into the books. Out they come for round 12. 12th and final round for this Pentacontinental Flyweight title. Johnson the champion, Diaz the would-be or wannabe, and Johnson has been sensational for 11 rounds. Some of these celebrities in the crowd tonight, aside from the man next to me, Ruben Castillo, are Ronnie Cox, well-known movie and television actor, and Richard Mall of Night Court, who is strangely different with hair. And a beard.
Yeah, and a beard.
Yeah.
Richard's such a nice guy,
He's
too.
got to be about 6'8". He's a giant of a man.
Oh, yeah. I used to be 6'3".
No, you were about 5'10", and then came that succession of people.
Well, you know what happens, Tom, is when you lose a lot of weight, as I did, up and down the scale, you start losing a lot of your height and reach. Then when you also come home at 3 o'clock in the morning, you lose a lot of everything.
That's right. Round 12, 12th and final round. Diaz, to his credit, has never quit trying. He's taken a few backward steps only because Johnson drove him back. And Johnson, aside from being a clever, adroit boxer and a pretty good hitter, is in, as Ruben said, magnificent shape. Here he is in the 12th round, and they really haven't had a slow round. Maybe the 7th or 8th was a bit slower than the others. He's up, bouncing, running, moving. Now he's content to stand there with Diaz, who doesn't have much of a punch left if he had a good one coming in. And he's making Diaz miss, landing a few solid shots, banging away, slipping punches, befuddling Diaz almost at every turn. Nailed Diaz with a right hand, has him against the rope. That's no place for Diaz to be. I would like to see Johnson step back and just finish out the round in long range, Ruben. I don't want to see him knock Diaz out.
I don't think he can, Tom.
Well, I hope not.
I don't think he can now. Diaz has taken everything he has.
Diaz deserves to go the full distance. Oh, he's getting nailed with some shots.
Maybe he went a little too soon. No, he pushed him down.
Time out.
Oh, he's taking
a point. That's a little over-officiating, isn't it?
Well,
I think he really shoved him down.
Yeah, he did. I saw him. No, I saw him shut him down. But we may have put a little bit of mustard on the hot dog on that one, but he still pushed him down, Tommy.
I'll tell you, I think it irritated Johnson. I think he wants to knock him out now, Ruben, but he's not going to. Look at him reaching back with that right hand. Boy, he was going to put Diaz up into about the third balcony. Now he's over in Diaz's corner. So they took a point away. At the most, it would give Diaz a split for the round. Now, arm in arm, they look like long-lost brothers, don't they?
Yeah.
All right, we'll be back to get the officials' report on this Pentacontinental Flyweight title bout. First, we'll pause for this message.
352-2121.
Forum Boxing is brought to you by Budweiser. Say, fans, a great way to reward yourself after the bout, win or lose, is with the clean, crisp taste of Beechwood-aged Budweiser. Yes, this Bud's for you. And by West Coast Detectives, transportation and protective services worldwide since 1922, headquartered in North Hollywood, California. You're here at the Great Western Forum. We've just seen 12 action-packed rounds of the Pentacontinental Flyweight Championship. The champion, Mark Too Sharp Johnson, against Armando Diaz. We think he pitched a shutout. Johnson, we think he's still got the title. Jimmy Lennon Jr. has the officials' cards.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 12 rounds of boxing, we have a unanimous decision. Here are the score totals. Judge at ringside, Lou Filippo scores about 119-107. Vince Delgado scores about 119-106. Chuck Hassett scores about 119-105. All three in favor of the winner and still champion, Mark Too Sharp Johnson.
Well, I tell you, that man, Mark Too Sharp Johnson, gave you a Sandy Koufax effort tonight. I mean, he pitched a shutout. What a fine performance by him. He now is 15-1, and credit to Armando Diaz. He went down in the closing seconds of the first round, took the 8 count, came back up, and was there for the other 11. But the champion remains the champion, Mark Johnson. All right, we'll be back with one of the big attractions here at the Great Western Forum. Miss Budweiser, Miss Ringsider competition. We'll be back to see about that right after we see about this.
And boxing fans joining us across the nation on Prime Network. Judges as appointed. At ringside, we have